Hidden among the coastal landscape of Liberty County, Georgia, is a place where the natural environment and African American religious history come together in a remarkable way. This is the historic Baptismal Trail in Riceboro, Georgia. The story of this trail reaches back to the 1840s when enslaved African Americans connected with what was then known as North Newport Church. For enslaved people living along Georgia's coast, religious gatherings could provide something incredibly important, a place where faith, community, family, and hope could be maintained despite the restrictions and hardships of slavery. In 1854, the white congregation associated with North Newport Church moved to Walterville. The enslaved members who remained established their own congregation, which became known as First African Baptist Church. Members of the congregation would make their way along the trail toward the water, according to the historical traditions preserved by the church and its descendants. They would sing hymns as they traveled, turning the journey itself into part of the religious experience. After, they would reach a natural pool known as Round Hole. Here, people were immersed in the water as part of the Christian baptism ceremony. Think about what this landscape would have meant to the people who walked this path. This wasn't simply a trail through the woods. It was a pathway to a place where people publicly expressed their faith, surrounded by members of their community. For people living through slavery and later the difficult decades following emancipation, traditions like these helped preserve a sense of identity, spirituality, and community. And remarkably, the baptismal tradition continued at this location for nearly a century. Baptisms were reportedly conducted here from the 1840s into the early 1940s. Today, visitors can walk the historic Baptismal Trail and follow a portion of this historic journey toward the water. What makes this place especially important is that we are not simply looking at an old building or reading about something that happened somewhere else. We're standing in the landscape where the history actually happened. The trees, the trail, and the water remain connected to generations of people who walk this same path. The historic Baptismal Trail is therefore more than a nature trail. It is a surviving piece of African American religious history in coastal Georgia, connected to the broader cultural history of the Gullah Geechee communities. And perhaps the most powerful part of the story is the journey itself.
Down through the pines where the old songs rise, trail by the water beneath Georgia skies. 1840s they came to the shore, Bible in hand, and they wanted more. From the church they walked, saying amen, to the water where the hurt could end. From the fields where freedom felt far away, found a little breath in the flood that day. No chain could keep what lived inside. When they stepped in deep and they came back alive. Hear that hymn in the trees, hear that grief turn free. Footsteps in the sand, pulling me back again. Walk down the baptismal trail where the ancestors sang. Walk down the baptismal trail, let the old faith hang into the water under Georgia sun. One by one, they rose again. Walk down the baptismal trail where the story never ends. Baptismal trail. Baptismal trail. North Newport, the first African. Same rope, same prayer, same way again. Mother, father, child, and friend, walking slow where the river bends. Years rolled on the church changed hands. Still the people kept their palms playing. Hymns in the air, feet in the dust, taking that walk like a holy trust. Every name in the barking stone, every tear that the rain has known. All that memory, hard and real, still living in the ground they feel. Hear that hymn in the trees, hear that grief turn free. Footsteps in the sand, pulling me back again. Walk down the baptismal trail where the ancestors sang. Walk down the baptismal trail, let the old faith hang into the water under Georgia sun. One by one, they rose again. Walk down the baptismal trail where the story never ends. Baptismal trail. They couldn't take the memory, couldn't sink the soul, couldn't break the spirit, made the people whole. And every print in the earth, every hymn through the breeze carries something from the past, still moving through me. Walk down the baptismal trail where the ancestors sang. Walk down the baptismal trail, let the old faith hang into the water under Georgia sun. One by one, they rose again. Walk down the baptismal trail where the story never ends. Oh, walk down the baptismal trail. Georgia remembers them. Baptismal trail. So walk where they walk and carry the name. Water stays quiet, but the story remains. Down the baptismal trail, down the baptismal trail. Georgia remembers, and the ancestors sing.
Can I let it die down? I remember days in the trench. Time to go hard in, time to go all in, time to get my all to this shit. Panamera maxed out, first class flights out, Atlantic to Pacific, yeah, it's lit.